will start with the treatment of provident fund and tax implications. So we already discussed the same things in the previous class also. Now we can recollect the points, then we can move on the next HRA. Okay, so now that's a provident fund, the four category. So SPF, statutory provident fund, recognized provident fund, unrecognized provident, public provident fund. So if it is statutory provident fund, it is exempted. So you need not consider about the contributions of the by the employer. So then the recognized unrecognized provident fund, this is the time being it is ignored. So it is not recognized. So public provident fund, it is that amount of the contribution by the employee only, not an employer. So there is no implication on the tax of the assessee. Okay, that's only one case we have to consider here. So that means recognized provident fund, RBF. So this RBF means that's a contribution by the two persons. The 2% contributed by the particular fund, that is called recognized provident fund account. That is a certain percentage, certain rate by the employer and also the employee. So now we have to take the employer contributions. So if it is the employer contribution, that is a restriction on the contribution to the RBF. So this amount should be the contribution of the employer contribution up to 12% of the salary of the employee. If the above amount is taxable, up to 12% of the salary, it is exempted. Okay, now the calculation of the salary for this recognized provident fund, that salary means basic pay or basic salary plus DA. So DA is only consider the enter into the service benefits, then commission and turnover. So the three things only we can call it as a salary. And one more thing, that is an interest on the provident fund, it is exempted up to 9.5% per annum. Above the amount is taxable. I will give you one problem. It is taken from the your previous year question paper, April 2011, right? So now we have to calculate the taxable amount of annual accretion to the RBF if the following information is provided by the assessee, right? So the pay, that is means basic pay or basic salary, or it may so 7,500 per month. Then the commission received by him on the basis of the turnover achieved by him, that commission amount is also given, that amount is 6,000. So now the employer contributing this RBF is 14% of salary, and interest credited during the year RBF balance is 12%, that is 24,000. Now we have to go for an answer. Okay, that's the last one is the answer. Okay, now yes, now we have to remember that 2.1 is up to 12% of salary is exempted, the above amount is taxable. So the salary means, so basic pay, DA, then commission on turnover. So these things for calculation of contribution by employer. The interest credited in the account, that is up to 9.5%. 60, 68, okay, 70, this is right enough. Okay, so this is the problem. Now we have to calculate taxable HRA. So put a heading, calculation of taxable recognized provident fund. Okay, so now we have to open three columns, one particulars column, two amount column. So first one is particulars, PRTICULA particulars. So rupees amount, right? So here you have to calculate employers. What's it asked in the questions? Question asked, we have to calculate taxable amount of annual accretion. So annual accretion of the taxable amount of RBF only they asked. Okay, now we can do the calculation of employers contribution to recognized provident fund. That amount is given. What is amount is given? So there is a 14% of salary. 14% of salary. Okay, that amount is 14% of salary. Now we have to calculate what is the salary. What is the salary? So salary means, so basic pay. So pay plus commission. So these two things we can call it as a salary. What is a pay? That amount is given 7,500 per month. So pay is 7,500 per month. So then you should be multiplying with 12. So 1 year. So that amount is 90,000 rupees. So 90,000 rupees. So then that commission, that amount is 6,000. So 96,000. So plus 6,000, that amount is 96,000. So 96,000 into 14 percentage. So this is, we can take it to the inner column also. Okay. So that amount is 96,000. 96,000 multiplying 14 percentage. So with the calculator multiply, that amount is 96,000 into 14 divided by 100. So if you multiply, that amount is 13,440. So 13,440 it is paid to his account by the employer. Employer contributing to the PF. The amount is 13,400. Now you have to calculate less exempted contribution. Exempted means up to 12 percentage, up to 12 percentage of salary. Okay, so need not calculate salary again. So salary is calculated, that amount is 96,000. So 96,000 multiply up to 12 percentage. This is exempted. So 12 percentage you have to calculate. So 96,000 into 12 divided by 100. So 12 divided by 100, that amount is 11,520. 11,520. So you have to deduct from the 13,440. So 13,440 minus 11,520. So that amount is 1,920. This is a taxable. Okay. So 7,500 into 90,000 plus 6,000 plus 6,000, 96,000 into 14 divided by 100. That amount is 13,440. Okay. So the amount is 1,920. That's only correct only. What is this one? 14% of salary, employees' contributions. Commission received by him on the basis of the achieved by him. So this is correct only. This is correct only. Okay. So then interest credited in RBF account. So that amount is 24,000. 24,000. Okay, so 24,000 is 12 percentage. So 24,000 is 12 percentage. 12 percentage is 24,000. Then less exempted up to 9.5 percentage. 9.5 percentage. How to calculate 9.5 percentage? 24,000 divided by 12 multiplying 9.5. Okay, so this is called 9.5 percentage interest. So 24,000 divided by 12 into 9.5, that amount is 19,000. So 19,000. So that amount is 5,000 is taxable. So total taxable RBF, recognized provident fund. Okay, 6,920. 6,920. Okay, so this is a taxable recognized provident fund. So this question they will ask in here 5 mark questions. Okay, to write. So up to 12% only exempted. So this is only correct one. This is only a correct one. Okay. Okay, you can take a screenshot of this problem. Right. Now we can move on the next one. Okay, so this is the next one. So next one. So here this also we have to calculate. So in November 2013, November 2013, I asked one more questions from the employer contribution. Now here we have to calculate, compute cross salary from the information given below. So cross salary you have to calculate. So salary amount 5,000 is given, DA is given. So in some adjustments on the DA. So advance salary for 2 months is given, employer's contribution is given. Now we have to calculate cross salary. So salary is taxable, DA is taxable, advance salary is taxable. So employer contributions, so that amount is 800. So there is no percentage is given. Now we have to calculate what is the percentage of the contribution by the employer. So somewhat is that information is given is a so different. Okay. Now we have to calculate. We have to calculate cross salary. So CAL calculation of cross salary. It is the including of the contribution to the RBF also, right? So now we have to open so three columns, one particulars column, two amount column. Okay. So particulars, rupees and rupees. Okay, right. Now this salary, the salary 5,000 per month, it is taxable. So salary 5,000, it is taxable. You have to multiply 5,000 into 5,000 into 12. 5,000 into 12. That amount is 60,000. That amount is 60,000. It is fully taxable. Whatever the basic pay, all the basic pay amount is taxable. All the basic amount is taxable. Second one is TA 1,000 per month. So 1,000 per month. So for the taxable amount, so we can consider either so this one enter into service benefit or not enter into service benefit, whatever the category. So all the amount is taxable. So all the amount is taxable. So it is given only on per month. Now we have to multiply with the 12 months. So 1,000 into 12. So that amount is 12,000. That amount is taxable. So D also taxable. So this is for consideration calculation of this one. Next one is advance salary for 2 months. So this amount also it is taxable. Advance salary also it is taxable. You have to write. So this 12,000 in the outer column. 12,000 in the outer column. Okay. So 2 months salary is taxable. Okay. And the next one is the employer contribution. The employer contribution, that amount is 800 is given. Okay. So the employer's contribution 800 is given. Now we have to calculate 800 into 12. 800 into 12. It is partially taxable. It is partially taxable, partially exempted. So 800 into 12. So 9,600. So you have to write inner column. 9,600 you have to write inner column. So now you have to calculate calculate taxable amount less exempted up to 12 percentage 12 percentage of salary 12 percentage of salary. Okay, 12 percentage of salary. Okay. Okay, so 12 percentage of salary. Okay, so salary in the sense we have to take. So this basic salary, DA. So DA only 500 you have to take. The remaining 500 you need not take for calculation of the salary. Advance salary you have to consider. Okay, then for the salary calculations, you have to take. So that 60,000 plus so 500 per month. 500 into per month means 6,000. So how it is calculated 6,000? So that is calculated 500 multiply into 12. 500 into 12. So that is a 6,000. That arrear salary also we can consider, that is 11,000. 11,000 into 12 divided by 100. So that's 12% you have to calculate. Now we have to total 60,000. So 66,000, 66,000, 66,000, 67,000, 77,000. So 77,000 is a salary. So from the 77,000 salary divided by 12% into 12%, so 9,240. Sorry. 66,000 into 66,000 into 12 divided by 100, 7,920. 7,920 minus 9,600, that amount is 1,680. So 1,680, it is only taxable. 1,680 is only, it is a taxable RBF, taxable recognized provident fund. Taxable recognized provident fund. Okay, right. So now if you are putting up all the amount, we can call it as a gross salary. Gross SALR, gross salary. Now you can put your total. So 1,680. So 77,000 plus 1,680. That amount is 78,680. 78,680. No. 60,000, 60,000, 60,000 plus 12,000 plus 11,000 plus 1,680. If you put total 84,000, 84,680. 680. So this is our cross salary. This is our cross salary. So this problem, it includes all taxable amount, partially taxable and fully taxable. Partially taxable and fully taxable. Okay. So now I will explain again. So this is not required. Net salary we need not consider here. We can later on, we can, right. So they have to calculate gross salary. So gross salary means salary, this 5,000 per month is fully taxable. DA, it is fully taxable. So either it is enter into service benefit, not into service benefit, is need not consider. So advance salary, this amount is also taxable. Employer contribution, that amount only given, the amount is 800 per month. Okay, so this is partially taxable, partially exempted, partially taxable and partially exempted. Okay, so now we can see the gross salary table. So particulars you have to write the 3 column. So if you're writing anything on the outer column, this amount is taxable. This is a taxable column, this is a calculations column. So whatever the amount is writing on the outer column, that amount is taxable amount. So salary 5,000 per month, so 12 months it is taxable 60,000. So DA 1,000 per month, 12 months multiplication, that is a 12,000 is a taxable. Advance salary, this is also taxable. Now employer contribution, so that amount only given, that amount 800 per month, multiplication of 12, amount 9,600. So this contribution up to 12% only it is exempted. Up to 12% of salary is exempted. Salary in the sense you have to calculate salary with DA. So DA here we need not consider about the 1,000 rupees. You have to take only a 500. Up to 500 only it is exempted. Enter into service benefit, it is tax, it is considered for a calculation of salary. Not enter into the service benefit, you need not consider for calculation of the salary, for calculation of employers contributions. taxable amount. Okay, so now that 60,000 plus 6,000, 66,000 into 12 percentage, that amount is 7,920. So 9,600 minus 7,920, that amount is 1,680. This is taxable RBF. So we are putting total, that is called gross salary. Okay, so this is a PF account. So this PF account you can study it in a, so when you compare and calculation of the gross salary also, this is will come. Okay, now we can move on the next one. Okay, next one, this is called, it is a part of the salary. This is called allowances. This is the next chapter. So under section 15, the allowances it is coming under. So what do you mean by allowances? They are asking the 2 more questions. A cash payment to the employee on a regular basis, in addition to basic salary, or basic pay, whatever it may be. So to me, certain expenses required to be incurred by him in connection with the duties of his hobbies. Okay, this is called allowances. Allowances means it is any kind of a cash payment. It is any kind of a cash payment to the employee on a regular basis. Regular basis means they are giving on a monthly basis. They are giving a monthly basis. Okay, so this is called allowances, right? So I will give you some examples of the allowances also. So the allowances we can categorize into 3 category. Allowances we can categorize into 3 category. First one is so fully exempted, and the second category fully taxable, and the third category partially taxable. So partially taxable allowances. Okay, now we have to see the allowances fully exempted. So these are all allowances given to the particular employees, that allowances, so that you need not consider for calculation of the salary. So this amount you need not take into the outer column, you need not take to the taxable column. So that amount is you have to zero, that is amount is nil. Okay, now the first category. So there is only 4 exempted allowances. Only 4 exempted allowances in the category of salary. The first one is allowances to government employee. Government employee, so he is a government employee. So state government or central government or any semi-government, state government, central government, or any semi-government, that employee working for rendering services outside India, for that if any allowance is given for that allowance, it is fully exempted. Next, HRA. So HRA it is granted to the High Court and Supreme Court judges only, it is exempted. And sumptuary allowances are given to the judges of the High Court and Supreme Court. The sumptuary allowances also exempted. And any allowances received by an employee of the UN, so United Nations organization, so that allowances is also fully exempted. So there's 4 kind of allowances, it is fully exempted. And next one is it is fully taxable. So I already told that the DA, so we consider in the previous problem that DNS allowances, we can take it as a taxable amount. So taxable limit amount outer column. So this all the allowances it received. So it is a taxable amount. You need not consider about anything. You can write that outer column, that is amount column, that is a taxable column. So this is gonna all the things are so this is 17 categories of the allowances are fully taxable. First one is dearness allowance. DA means dearness allowance. So this in Tamil we can say Panjapadi solluvaanga. Dearness allowance. It is a taxable. Next is CCA. CCA means capital compensatory allowances or city compensatory allowances. For a working of the certain city, they are giving a additional allowances, that is called so capital compensatory allowances or city compensatory allowances, they can call it. Next one is marriage allowances. Next one is water and electricity allowances. The employee working in a company, he is in a residence in the nearby houses and tenant houses, or in staff quarters or a company quarters. For this, they are giving some water and electricity bill paid by the company paying the electricity bill and water bill. So that amount is that you can call it as an allowances, that is an exempt, that is a taxable limit. And entertainment allowances for non-government employee, it is a fully taxable. So entertainment allowance in the case of government employee, that is a partially taxable. This we can see the next slide. Next, medical allowances taxable, lunch allowances taxable, overtime allowances taxable, servant allowances taxable, family allowances taxable. So these all the allowances you have to remember in your mind. Then only you can go for an working of the problem. So DA, CCA, marriage, water and electricity, entertainment, medical, lunch, overtime, servant, family allowances. Next, 7 more categories are there. It's continuation. So tiffin allowances, warden allowances, deputation allowances, non-practicing allowances, project allowances, dark allowances. So these are all the 17th category of allowances. It is fully taxable. You need not worry about these things. You have to write simply on the outer column. So that is called a taxable column while calculation of the gross salary of the particular individual. Okay, so next, so these are all the fully taxable. So this 4 is fully exempted. You need not write anything, any amount. So this 17 category, you have to write this amount on the outer column. There is a taxable amount. So DA, CCA, marriage, water and electricity, entertainment, medical, lunch, overtime, servant, family. So dark allowance, tiffin allowance, warden allowance, deputation allowance, project allowance, and non-practicing allowance. So for a government medical doctor, so they're giving an extra amount for not opening up the any clinic outside the campus. So outside not practicing in the private clinic. So for this non-practicing allowance is given to the government doctor. Okay, so these are all the taxable amount. Next, these are all the allowances are partially taxable allowances. So fully exempted, there is a 4 kind of fully exempted, and 17 is fully taxable, and 12 kind of allowances. That's a 12 kind of allowances. This is called partially taxable allowances. So partially taxable, partially exempted. So like this in the HRA, that in the previous case. So provident fund. The provident fund, we have explained that 12% up to 12% age, it is exempted. Above the 12% taxable. So it's a partially taxable, partially exempted. Like this HRA means house rent allowances. HRA means house rent allowances. HOUSE, house rent allowances. Next one is entertainment allowances for government employee, education allowances, helper allowances, uniform allowances, academic research allowance, conveyance allowance, traveling allowance, transport allowance, special allowance, allowance to for transport employee, daily allowances. So these are all the 12 kind of allowances. It is partially taxable and partially exempted. Partially taxable and partially exempted. So within 9 minutes, I will complete one more problem. So with this, I will start with the third category. So partially taxable. So these 2 things, you need not worry about the 2 things. So if it is fully exempted means you need not write anywhere. Simply write in that particular column and write nil nil nil. That's all. And this category, you have to write this case. You have to write in the amount column. Whatever amount is given in the question, you have to write in the amount column. Like this, I will explain the previous slide. So this is a DA. So this is a DA is fully taxable. So multiplication of this per month with 12 months, 1 year. Write in the outer column. This amount column is called as taxable amount column. This is called a taxable amount column. Okay, like this you have to write. Okay, now we see this one, partially taxable allowances. Partially taxable means partially exempted allowances. The first category, HRA, that's called house rent allowances. I will explain the house rent allowances. This is a rules regarding the HRA tax calculations, tax implications, or tax calculations, whatever it may be, you can say tax implications. Right now, so under section 10 subsection 13a and also under section 10 subsection 14, it is explained that how to treat this HRA. Okay, right. So now, in the previous case, in the RPF, the 12% of salary, up to 12% of salary, it is exempted. Now this is the case, they given the least of the following is exempted. List of the following three. So the three amount we have to consider. The 3 amount you have to compare with the 3 amount. So which amount is very less, that amount only it is exempted, and the remaining portion is taxable. Okay. Now I will give you the example. Actual allowances received. from the employer. Employer giving the amount, that amount is actual amount is received. So that amount or next category, 50 percentage of salary or 40 percentage of salary. We have to calculate from the salary 50 percentage or 40 percentage. So certain kind of employee, so it is he is coming under the 50 percentage. Certain kind of employee he coming under the 40% salary. So who are all the coming under 50% salary? So 50 percentage it is only for metropolitan city. The employee working in a metropolitan city, for this employee you have to take it 50 percentage. If it is non-metropolitan city, you have to take it 40 percentage. What are all the metropolitan city? Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai. So these four cities, if the employee working in these four cities, so that employee is eligible to get 50 percentage of salary. If the employee working in other cities other than this Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai, so he is getting he is available only 40 percentage of salary. So this is the second amount is calculated. And the next one is excess of rent paid over the 10 percentage of salary. Excess of rent paid over the 10 percentage of salary. So here, so that it means rent paid minus 10 percentage of salary. So rent paid means actual rent paid by him. Actual rent paid him, ACD, actual rent paid by him, paid by the employee minus. So from the salary you have to calculate 10 percentage. Okay. So then here we are using the salary for here for a 10% of salary. Here we are using for the salary for a 40% of salary. For a 50% of salary you are using. So these three kind of salary, what do you mean by salary? So here in the calculation of salary, there's a different kind of things we have to take in. What you are using in the RBF also the same meaning of the salary here. So salary it means basic salary, DA. So enter into service benefits, that only you have to take and enter into service benefit for the pension scheme. So that amount only you have to take it from commission on sales. So the three amount you have put together only is a salary. Okay, salary the definition will be varying from the various calculations. Now for the HRA, you have to remember these things also. This is the rules regarding the calculation of the HRA, taxable and exempted. Okay, I will take one problem. So within 4 minutes I will complete. So this is from your question paper, April 2014, question number 15. That it means it's a 5-mark question. That it means this is a 5-mark question. 5-mark question. Okay, now you have to answer this question. So Mr. Abraham is employed in Chennai. While reading up the Chennai, we can understood that this is a metropolitan city. If it is metropolitan city, you have to take the salary, 50% of salary you have to take, right? So for that purpose only, they given as a Chennai, right? So if it is nothing is given, you have to take a 40%. Now his pay particulars are as follows: basic salary 12,000 per month. So DA, so the DA is given not forming part of the salary. So DA we need not consider about these things. HRA, that 6,000 is paid. 6,000 is paid, but in the actual rent paid is 7,000 per month. Calculate taxable HRA. Calculate taxable HRA. Right. I will go to the new slide next. Okay. Calculation of, you can put here calculation of taxable HRA. Okay. So now what is the rules? Okay, I will take 3 columns. Okay. So that means that's particulars. So to amount column rupees and rupees. Okay. So list of the following, LEAST, list of the following is taxable. So list of the following is taxable. The first one is actual HRA received. So from the formula, I will take actual HRA received. That amount is actual HRA received. That amount is 6,000 per month. 6,000 per month. So 6,000 per month he received 6,000 into 12. So if you multiply, that amount is 72,000. So this is an actual HRA received by him. So where is 6,000 is taken? So that this is on a HRA rupees 6,000 per month is received, right? So this is a first point you have to consider. We have to calculate it. And the second amount, what is the second amount? What is the second amount? So second amount is 50 percentage of salary. 50 percentage of salary. What is the salary? Salary means basic salary into basic salary into 50 percentage. So salary here, that amount is given 12,000 per month is given. So 12,000 multiplication of 12, that amount is 1,44,000. This is a yearly salary. So with this you have to multiply 50 percentage. So here DA you need not consider, you DA, you don't take DA. So why? Because DA is not forming part of the service benefits. So the second amount is calculated 1,44,000, 1,44,000 into 50 percentage. That amount is comes around again 72,000. The same second amount also the 72,000. And next third category, the third category, the third category. So rent paid, rent paid minus 10 percentage of salary. So 10 percentage of salary. So 10 percentage of salary means, so rent paid, that amount is given. How much amount is paid? Actual rent paid, that is given in the within bracket. So 7,000 per month is given, multiply with 12. So that amount is 69,000. So 69,000, that is a rent, annual rent is paid. That is called rent paid. Then minus less, so that may less 10% of salary, 1,44,000, 1,44,000 into 10 percentage. So what is that amount? 10 percentage. So that amount is 14,400. So 14,400 minus 69,000. So 69,000 minus 14,400. That amount is 54,000. 54,000, 54,000, 54,600. So now the least is 54,600